I was going to talk about how I review a decent amount of first person shooters, and then I realized that I've already reviewed two Tom Clancy games. That doesn't really seem fair that I've done two games from the same person. So, let's just do another one, but from a different franchise. This time we got Rainbow Six 3 for the PS2. Usually when I would see the Tom Clancy title on the side of a video game, it would make me think of pretty decent games. I mean, none of the ones that I ever played blew me away, but they were solid and I knew they would be enjoyable. But this one kind of broke the mold in a bad way for me. For starters, I was bamboozled into buying this game in the first place. I remember seeing a TV commercial where people were playing with their friends online, and I wanted to get a game like that. So yeah, I didn't really read the fine print, and there wasn't really internet back in those days, or at least there was internet, but I didn't really have access to it. And in hindsight, I wasn't really using common sense. I just thought buying the game would provide me internet access, and I would have friends that had the game, even though I didn't check with any of them. So yeah, I didn't really get bamboozled. I was just extremely ill-informed about this game. I don't really like comparing games directly to other games that I've reviewed, but this feels exactly like Ghost Recon for the PS2, but just slightly different. They're both heavily team-based first-person shooters developed by Tom Clancy, but in this one the teamwork is definitely a lot more necessary and emphasized. I mean, I enjoy playing a team-based shooter every now and again. I enjoyed playing through the original Ghost Recon, but this is almost just too much teamwork. I understand that's Tom Clancy's MO, team-based shooters, which continues to this day with the Rainbow Six franchise, but it just feels like a door-opening simulator. There's just so many doors. So many doors. Each level is just doors and doors and doors. It's really just slow and monotonous to get through each level. And what makes it even slower is that you have to load in the second part of each level. Which actually, now that I think about it, the levels are almost split into quarters, where you play through the first quarter, you hit a checkpoint, it saves for like 30 seconds, then you continue, but then once you get to that halfway point, the game literally has a load screen for you to completely load in the second part of the level. And it's just a bummer, especially considering how slow the rest of the game is. It just slows it down even more. But hey, let's look at some good things first. The weapon selection is pretty decent. At least you can select the weapons that you use, and I do find it's funny that you can use the same gun in your different weapon slots. Yeah, you can use the MAC 11 or the MAC 10 as a primary and a secondary with different attachments. You can do that with the MP5 too. I actually kind of like that. Just have a little side piece, same gun. You can also roll with a grenade launcher as a secondary too, which they can be smoke, stuns, or have other effects, which just plays into the tactical style of the game. Another thing I appreciate is the comprehensive tutorial section at the beginning of the game, which I feel like doesn't happen very much in video games. Like a good long tutorial section that tells you everything you need to know. It honestly took like 5 or 10 minutes, which even though I do prefer to get right into the action, but since this game's tactical, I need to know what I'm doing. I gotta take my time to learn this stuff before opening doors, and that's what this game did. I also don't really like the health bar or health system in general. I understand if you get shot by a bullet, there isn't really much you can do in the field to, make yourself 100% again, but this is a video game. If I get shot at the beginning of the level, I shouldn't have to walk around the whole entire level just coughing and wheezing because I got shot in the leg and there's no way to resuscitate or heal myself. Like this one part, I messed up and I got hit a lot and I was on the verge of death. And I must have hit a checkpoint where you start over if you die after that point, which then I was dying a lot because I was on the verge of death. So then in those situations, you're just stuck in an endless loop where you restart, you barely have any health, and you gotta play through the entire rest of the level perfectly to make it out. I did manage to get out of it in the end, but it took way longer than I would have liked. It was like 30 minutes, it was like 10 different attempts of me playing at my absolute peak, my hands sweating, dripping sweat. Just not the level of effort I would want to just finish a level in a video game. Overall, this game just felt clunky, not really great movement, not really great action, not really great execution of the level loading. I will say it's more tactful than any other game that I've reviewed or even played in general, so if you enjoy the Tom Clancy style of team-based first-person shooters, I think this is the most extreme version of that. I would say Ghost Recon's a step down in the tactful department, but there was just a little bit more action in that one, so this is just a more extreme version of Ghost Recon. You know, I feel bad putting Rainbow Six 3 at the second worst PS2 game that I reviewed, but the PS2 just has so many great games, and I have to put it a little bit lower than Ghost Recon. I really enjoyed playing through the original Ghost Recon, and I don't think that this is a bad game. I just think the PS2 has so many other good games that this just lands at the second worst. IHRA Motorsport Drag Racing, obviously, is going to stay at the end. You know, this game actually probably would have been pretty cool to play online with other people, but I don't really know how that would have been set up, so that's water under the bridge. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Another review coming soon. See you then.